The Great UFO Debate. What will it take for scientists to believe? In recent times, the eminent minds of the scientific community and groundbreaking initiatives devised by the U.S. federal government have come to recognize the pressing need to give due credence to the enigma of UAPs. Unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP, government speak for UFOs, are in the spotlight. With intense scrutiny from the White House, sensationalized reporting on aliens, and a seldom-seen emphasis on U.S. air defenses, the enigma surrounding UAPs is only growing stronger with the latest revelations. In addition, given that 6 former presidential candidates, a former vice presidential nominee, and the chair and vice chair of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence are all advocating for the full funding of a science plan that goes beyond the current state-of-the-art in science and technology to study UAP, scientists have a responsibility to grapple with the truly confounding data at hand. For instance, between 2014 and 2015, approximately 50 to 60 naval aviators undergoing training in highly restricted airspace along the eastern seaboard of the United States witnessed anomalous objects demonstrating exceptional flight capabilities. It is of utmost importance to note that on a daily basis, aircrews visually or through sensor equipment observed these enigmatic crafts. After Pentagon officials eliminated the possibility of the mysterious objects being classified U.S. technology, some analysts speculated that they might be foreign surveillance platforms. However, recent reports seem to contradict this hypothesis. According to the Wall Street Journal, intelligence officials monitored 3 brief Trump-era incursions by suspected Chinese surveillance balloons. If analysts were able to detect and monitor these brief occurrences in real time, it becomes difficult to believe that a foreign power could have conducted a sophisticated surveillance operation involving hundreds, if not thousands, of balloons or drones on a daily basis for years without being detected. Furthermore, it seems that the diplomatic and media commotion arising from China's alleged large-scale surveillance balloon was caused by a significant error. Intelligence analysts who monitored the launch of the airship now suspect that unusual weather conditions caused it to deviate from its intended path. Guam and Hawaii were the actual targets. It appears that Beijing had no intention of deploying its spy balloon over the continental United States. Of course, it is possible that subsequent reports will demonstrate that a foreign nation executed an audacious, intricately planned surveillance operation that led to daily, long-term UAP encounters along the eastern coast of the United States. However, given that intelligence officials were able to track 3 short-lived incursions during the Trump administration, and the recent disclosure that China probably did not intend to create a geopolitical stir, this theory seems progressively implausible. Importantly, U.S. officials are unimpressed by the technology recovered from China's surveillance balloon. In sharp contrast, the flight capabilities of the mysterious objects regularly witnessed by naval aviators imply the use of incredibly advanced, and clearly not balloon-like, technology. Aircrews encountered objects capable of remaining stationary in high winds or flying at considerable speeds for extreme durations. Interestingly, the enigmatic craft were often imperceptible to the human eye. Despite radar and multiple infrared heat sensors indicating the existence of tangible objects, pilots who investigated these unusual contacts, frequently with the help of sophisticated helmet displays, seldom perceived them visually. In a recorded event roughly 100 miles off the coast of North Carolina, 4 naval aviators flew towards an object that was tracked by both radar and heat sensors. Despite clear indications of a tangible object being present, the 2 aircrews were unable to see anything visually despite being only 200 feet away. In another noteworthy 2014 incident, two objects with heat and radar signatures hovered at altitudes of 12,000 and 15,000 feet. As the pilots observed one of the peculiar crafts hovering motionless amidst strong winds up in the air, two other objects, each with heat signatures, passed by at a high velocity. Such flight characteristics are genuinely perplexing, and hardly attributable to balloons. The same goes for the "Go Fast" UAP video, which was captured by naval aviators off the coast of Florida in early 2015. Two independent geometrical models of the encounter demonstrate that, even if a key on-screen figure emphasized by UFO skeptics is accurate, the object has inherent speed. To clarify, the craft was observed to be moving at a speed that surpassed the speed of the surrounding winds in the atmosphere, alluding to a more advanced technology. Perhaps most importantly, meticulous three-dimensional reconstructions of the now famous gimbal UAP video confirm that the object demonstrated truly remarkable flight characteristics. The aviators had a stable radar lock on the craft and were highly confident that it was within 10 miles of the jet that recorded the video, making the flight characteristics observed in the video even more remarkable. The aircrew eventually flew up to the mysterious object. Its flight path was reconstructed in 3 dimensions, showing that it decelerated from a speed of several hundred miles per hour to a complete stop in midair before suddenly making a vertical U-turn. The gimbal UAP accomplished a highly perplexing feat at a high altitude by executing an unorthodox maneuver that would typically require a fighter jet to cover a distance of nearly a mile. Remarkably, the UAP accomplished this maneuver in a fraction of that distance, despite lacking wings or any recognizable means of propulsion. Make no mistake, such seemingly physics and aerodynamics bending properties demand serious, sober scientific scrutiny. It is worth mentioning that the theory embraced by those who attempt to discredit UFO sightings, which proposes that the gimbal object's perceived rotation as a result of the camera's motion, contains a noteworthy flaw. According to the conclusions drawn by active-duty naval aviators and a senior engineer with extensive knowledge of the optical system, there is no evidence to suggest that such systems rotate in the peculiar, intermittent manner observed in the concluding segment of the video. In contrast, all the available data indicates that the camera system rotated smoothly and continuously throughout the entirety of the gimbal encounter. Of particular interest is the fact that the object's rotation corresponds precisely with its flight path, which strongly refutes the camera artifact theory. Simultaneously, when basic mathematical calculations are applied to the video footage of the most extensively documented UAP incident on record, it becomes clear that commonplace explanations, such as a distant jet, are untenable for the tic-tac shaped object that was observed by 5 naval aviators. In addition, when examining infrared footage of the craft alongside a straightforward, garage-style experiment that accounts for the position of the sun, it becomes compellingly evident that the enigmatic object flew at a high altitude without any wings, control surfaces, or recognizable forms of propulsion. It is high time for scientists to discard the stigmatization that the government has perpetuated for so long, which has obstructed rational and impartial investigations of UAP. Instead, they should confront the confounding and persuasive data that exists before them. Thanks for watching. For more content, tune into the Not Top Secret podcast and blog located at nottopsecret.com.